Hi everyone, I'm Baz. This is iSharpen, and today I'm sharpening a beautiful set of WÜSTHOF knives. It's a full set, 10 pieces, including a large cleaver, a pair of shears, and the infamous little sausage serrated. These are fantastic. Everybody loves them. I have some flexible knives here, some utility, obviously the big chef knife, and the carving knife, and a serrated knife as well, which I'm going to do on the Japanese wheel. So sit back, we're going to do all of them in this movie. Now, because I'm dealing with a full set of bolstered knives, it's the bolster here, the finger guard, whatever you want to call it, we don't want to, as we're grinding, let me show you, as we're grinding along here, what we don't want to do is dig into here, especially on a brand new set. So I'm going to be very careful to sort of lift off here, and the idea is to maintain that same height, get it sharp all the way up to there, and then make sure that the rest of it is all sharp without digging in. So, aren't these beautiful? WÜSTHOF Classic. Just magnificent. So, we're all ready to go. We've got fresh water. You may have noticed I've had a bit of a clean up. Keep everybody happy, and we're going to get started with the chef knife, may as well. So I've cleaned and polished my clamp, put new tape on, where are you going, Chili? You want to go out? There you go, out you go. And you want to come back in, just push the door. Alright. Now, I like 32 degrees for these WÜSTHOFs. I know they can handle better, but I think there's just something about 32 that sits right with me. I like it. So I'm going to make sure that the wheel diameter is correct. And you're back. So this one is sitting at 198. Still got plenty of life in it. It's a bit small, but you know, you've got to use them until they're done. So I'm going to just drop this down to 198. Set this to 16 degrees. Nice. Lock everything up, and I'm going to do them all at 320. 320, according to the formula, is 320 times 3 equals roughly what the wheel grit is. Now, I'll keep getting asked where I buy these from. So let me tell you again, I'll get them from eBay Australia. Do a search for diamond sharpening plates and make sure you get the ones with the thin black foam backing. The ones that are just plain metal didn't seem to last very long, but these are lasting for a long time. So let's get straight into it. Using my tip first technique. Nice. And none of these knives are damaged or anything, they won't need much. And I'll show you a close-up of this one, but then the rest of them will just move straight through them. You'll get the picture. If there's anything specific that I need to show you, I will. Burr starting to develop. A lot of people don't like bolsters on a sharpening sort of level. They can be a bit annoying, but if you do the rounding off and you taper as you get into it, it's very manageable, and you can do a perfect little sharp without bothering the bolster at all. Okay, starting to get a burr now. Nice, perfect all the way. One last little run. That is magnificent. Good strong burr, we're done. Now I'll show you what I mean by going up close to the bolster but not onto it. And this is what you want to achieve if you're sharpening a beautiful set of WÜSTHOFs. So we'll start off with a beautiful tip. That tip first technique, I'm telling you, it's a revolution. And look at that. Finished beautifully without touching or harming the bolster. The side, same again. Beautiful bevel. And nice, oh, almost perfect stop right there. And the bolster remains undamaged. And there's no dip. Perfect. That's what you want. Well, actually, I always leave the clamp on because it's easier to hold it like this on here. And if for some reason I find that I need to go back on, it's already set up and waiting. So I feel for the burr, and I always start with the burr up. I want to shine the back of the burr first. And I freehand because you can. It's not a real problem. I feel for the bevel. When you're on the bevel, it has a bit of grip, and then I lift it up a little bit to do the apex. Check with my fingernail. That's all it needed, was one pass per side. The better the steel, the easier the burr comes off because it's more brittle. A good steel for a knife is a hard steel. Now there are limits, of course, but these are tempered very well, heat treated fantastically. Right, let's head over to the kangaroo strop. Just to remove that micro burr from within the grooves. Kangaroo tails are really good at that. If you can't find a kangaroo tail in your country, we can't export them without a big drama, so I suggest using buffalo or horsehide or something that's rough. Oh, it's got wet. A little bit catchy, or it could be the wind because I've got the fan running. Hey, come here, come here. Let's have another go. A little bit sticky. Magnificent. That's lovely. I'll get all my little pieces. And that one's done. Put them in the bin. And what I like to do is just put a little piece of tape on there, just as a warning that they're very sharp. Nice. Nice. Put it in the bin, see? Okay, so that's that done. Next, I'm going to do all the straight knives. Before I go into the serrated, and then finally the cleaver and the shears. Now these carving knives can be a little bit flexible, so I'm going to use the flexible knife jig. Perfect. I have a feel for it. A couple of passes initially is okay. So who's been to my new shop? isharpen.shop. You can buy a t-shirt, you can buy a hat, and you can buy the Baz knife there as well. At the moment they're on pre-order. I've sold out. So they'll be here next week. And if you pre-order, You're first on the list for the sharpest knife. That's a good thing. Last batch, the sharpest knife was I think 72 best, which is pretty amazing. Straight out of the factory. I have a really good manufacturer. They're very responsive to my needs and requests. And they've suggested that perhaps I may want to do a Baz knife mini. A little 5-inch utility. What do you think about that? Would you be interested in that? A little mini Baz. This whole thing could do some minifying. But that's a whole other story. We'll start off by cleaning up and then we'll see. So yeah, this lady had a family member that sent her set of WÜSTHOFs in to have them sharpened by WÜSTHOF, and they came back pretty bad. Not happy at all. So my customer had a look around, found me on the interweb, and decided to give me a go. And when she came here, I gave her a full lecture on how it all works and what I do. And I think she'll be happy. And she's watching this actually. Hello. Nice. Oh, little catch there. Whoop, another catch right there. So I reckon I've got a little dent or some little issue that is causing that catch. Might have to grind it a bit more, and this is why I keep it clamped on. So what's going on there? Ah, where is it? Right there. See that little catch there? Needs a bit more grinding. The fingernail tells everything. And there's no way around it. If you don't like running your edge against your fingernail, then I don't know what you're going to do, but it's a very, very important test. Slightly stronger burr this time as well, so that's good. I underdid it a little bit. It's always okay to underdo it, better than overdoing it. I'll give it 2 passes this time. And wherever possible, it's always good to hone in the direction that you've been grinding. So the grinding wheel comes up at the edge like this, and so the hone should also come at this. You don't want to be going too angular. Sometimes this gets in the way, but that's why it's on this machine here, lower than this level here. So let's have a feel. Much better. All done. Let's have a look. Oh, great entry. Good glidage. A little bit of a catch at the end. So here I'm using the suede, or the inside of the kangaroo tail hide. This is the outside. It's supposed to be done just on the outside where the ridges are, but I don't know, sometimes I do the inside, makes me feel good, I don't know. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, great entry, good glidage, perfect exit. In the bin. Ooh, beautiful. Bit of an alcohol. A warning sticker. And onto the flexible. So this will also need the long knife or flexible knife jig. Now this one, yeah, it should fit, but I've made a cut down version where I lopped off the edges. And I think I'm going to use that this time. 32 degrees suits the WÜSTHOF, especially when they've still got a virgin edge. I love the Tormek for its precision. You just cannot get a better bevel than a Tormek bevel. The sanding guys are very excellent, and they get the job done, and they're very fast. But I just like to see that beautiful bevel. Makes me happy. One more. Nice. And I must say, I am finishing these extraordinarily well. Nice into the bolster there, without touching it. Test it. Perfect. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Nice entry. Oh, a little bit catchy there. Good to finish. Whoops. Where are you going? You're not down on the ground. So let's... Oh, great entry. Good glidage. And I caught it. So, that's that done. Nice. Three down. Now, a utility. So as they get shorter, they get faster. What's up, Chili? Being very careful to lift off and graduate the grind near the bolster. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good strong burr. I might give it one more. So we're in the middle of April and still getting hot weather. That's a bonus. I'm loving this global warming. Works out very nice. Okay. Perfect. I'll show you this one because it's very nice. Beautiful tip. Lovely ending, look at that. Beautiful diamond pattern bolster finish, look at that. That's magnificent right there. Oh, better than I could even expect of myself. Look at that. Precision beveling. Okay, we'll just try it on the suede, see what happens. These rolling papers are exactly 17 GSM. I keep saying this because there must be a new person who hasn't seen this before. 17 GSM is very light. It's almost like tissue paper. Well, it is really. And it's exactly 17 GSM every single time. So it's a very standard test. And it will show up any edge irregularity, especially micro burr, which might be hanging on. Oh, great entry. Oh, I think that was wind related. No, it's a bit rough. Look, every time I try doing just the suede side, I end up convincing myself that you do need the ridges to get in there and claw out that micro burr that's hiding. It's the secret to longevity or edge retention. theoretically that should have dug out all that microburr, so there's no catching. Oh, not beautiful. We'll always persist until it is beautiful, even if I have to go back onto the grinding wheel. Because if it doesn't slice through that tally-ho, or the international equivalent is Rizla green. Tally-ho is actually made by Rizla. Look, see? Rizla. Let's have a look. Oh, nice entry. Look, still a little bit catchy. Right there. I wonder if I've got a little bugaloo. No, it doesn't feel like it. Could be just a little bit of sticky burr. Let's try that again. And it's better to creep up on it, sneak up on it, rather than always try and get it in the first go. See, it's getting a bit better. Still not perfect though. So there must be a little piece that's hanging around. I'll get it in the end though, of course. I always do. Oh, great entry. Nice glidage. See? Hey, come back. Oh no. Where did it go? It went in here. It's across the grain. No, you don't. No, you don't. I know. Doesn't take much, does it? Beautiful. All right, another sip. And we're moving along now. Little warning sticker. Oh, only two more straights, a smaller utility, and the paring knife. And then we're going into the serrateds, then the cleaver, finally the scissors or the shears. Birds. And of course, a leaf blower. This one must be used a lot. The utility knives are often the most popular. There we go. Nice. Beautiful. What form are you making noise for? Beautiful. Beautiful. Speaking of t-shirts, don't forget to drop into isharpen.shop. That's isharpen.shop to buy your merch, support the channel, put a Scooby snack into Chili's bowl. Won't last long there. Oh, beautiful entry. Whoop. It always catches right in the middle there. I wonder if that's a paper function or what's going on. Can we blame the paper? No, because sometimes it's perfect. So how can it be the paper if sometimes it's perfect? Nice entry. Good glidage, look at that. Nice finish. So it's not the paper, it's the operator. I sharpened these scissors ages ago on the Tormek, and they're still razor sharp. Alright, now Let's see if we can grind this paring knife without damaging it at all. So I'll give you a before shot. Right. Beautiful, perfect. Let's see how I go. And you know, I haven't used my wood. Just to tame these corners a little bit. Some people think it's the wood fibres. I don't think so. Some people think it's the resin. Could be. I just see the grains on these stones as rising and lowering. Rising and lowering. And when they're risen by, for example, using an 80 grit plate, then they have some longevity to it. It doesn't last for a long time. The natural state after grinding and grinding is for them to raise, to lower back down again. But I think that's what's going on. Of course, the proprietary secrets for these wheels are well kept. They don't tell us how they do it. But a multi-grade grinding wheel is a thing of wonder. Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's have a look at my bolster work. Nice. Well, it's not going to be without damage entirely, but at least it doesn't gouge in there. Look at those tips. Magnificent. Love good tips. Let's have a look. Oh, great entry. A little bit catchy. So when you were a little kid, was it called catchy or chasey? Great entry. Oh. Yep. not beautiful. Why, oh why? Delilah? We'll get it. Why? Because I always do. Always do. Nice entry. It's getting better. Maybe I didn't grind it enough. Could be. I don't mind doing it again. Let's try some refinement. And I wish there was a formula that I could tell you. 10 strokes, 3 strokes, 4 strokes, what? I don't know. You just got to do it until it works. See? Nice. You can see the burrs and things that develop. I can feel them as well. You see it's a bit rough. Right, so what I do, I'll bring you in close, is I use this old Japanese wheel, which is pretty useless for everything else. And in fact, that's the wide radius. I want to use the small radius. Inevitably one side gets used more than the other. And fun fact, in order for this side to not bang into the body, you need a washer. Okay, so all I do is I just gently massage those coves, a little bit on the tip, and I'll show you the difference. You can tell. Right, see, I've done those 4 and they're still raw. See that where I've done that work. Now I tried doing this on the SG wheel, but it's just way too aggressive. You need the Japanese or something really soft. I've tried using the leather, which is something that was shown to me online. Can't remember the channel. A very excitable chap. He has a someone he's teaching there, tall lad. And oh gosh, I wish I could remember. I'm sorry, mate, I forgot your name. But he originally showed us that you can use the side, the leather wheel, to do pretty much what I'm doing. And it's probably where I got the idea from, to be honest. And I'm moving the knife around to make sure that I get it all, and pausing just briefly on the tip. You don't want to wear the tip off. And then afterwards I'm going to do a little bit on the back side as well. So as I'm moving it up and down the wheel, the angle is changing, so it gives it a kind of a convexing effect. Which I think suits a serration very nicely. And then I do the tip as well. Beautiful. And then just a little bit on the back, not much, just to clean that burr up. That was there before, not the one that I've put on, because this Japanese wood puts on a very tiny little burr, if anything at all, which I'm going to wear off on the kangaroo tail. And that's it. Zoom out. See, there's a nice little silvery edge along the whole lot. And then a little bit on the back as well. Where is it? Hard to capture because it's so small. There you go. See, just that little tiny bit. And then I come over to the kangaroo strop. And what's important here is that I have left some leather hanging over, because I'm about to use that by brushing those serrations down the side. Thusly. On the magazine, much better. I'm happy with that. It's probably pushing it a bit. Come on, Baz. As if a serrated knife could do that. I have done it once before on video, but this time not. But I guarantee you that is sharper than it was before. Feels very, very sharp. Now do the same on the bigger one. just a quick touch. This is something I didn't do on the other one. And just flatten that back a bit as well. Lightly, lightly. And you can see the shine. That puts on. Right. Give it a bit of a stropping. Beautiful. Next, the big cleaver. What angle am I going to do that on? Well, it's actually a good question because I think it has a convex edge. Not 100% sure. I'm going to have a look again. Sort of does. Yep. But I'm not going to grind this whole thing. I'm just going to put a little micro bevel right on the end. So I think something quite steep. Maybe a 20. Could be. Leaking. You know what I might do is I might just do a test. I'll do a high pass, see how it looks, and if I'm happy with it, I'll just do that. So once again, the US 430 is coming into play with its extreme elevation. Let me just give it a little bit of a marker. I reckon that'll be good. And just for curiosity, well, see, it's difficult to measure that. $25. But it's a heavy cleaver, so it's going to experience some bone. Let's just see what it looks like. Not bad. Pretty small. But I like it. I like it a lot. I'll show you. All we need to do is put a sharp edge back on. So what do you think of that? Nice? I think that's perfect. Sometimes you've got to go by your feel. Starting to get a burr, not fully though. So once again, don't forget to go to isharpen.shop. Link is in the description. And consider maybe a dad hat, a t-shirt like mine. Now the good thing about the iSharpen brand is that if you're a sharpener, this doesn't interfere with your brand or with your business, because you're sharpening, right? iSharpen, get it? Yes, we get it, Baz. We get it, mate. Woof, woof, woof. Woof. Starting to get a burr. Not a very severe burr, so I want to keep going a little bit. Let me just test that with the burr on. Yeah, that works. Let's take it off, we'll test it. Perfect. Not too big, not too small. Now these angles and fatness, this is not going to happen. I'm happy with that. Alright, last thing are the shears, the scissors. Now, if you have a look at these, you'll see that they're pretty damaged. And also on the back, you can see that edge is a bit sort of gone. So I'm going to copy this angle and see if I can't clean that up a bit. Now, I take this off. I go back to the small one, the original, the stocky. Let me put this on. Now these have a tendency to shriek, and a commenter said maybe if I put a little bit of oil on here it might help to stop the screeching. We'll see. Now this is not going to screech that much, I know already, because the angle is very laid over. The ones that screech are the ones where the angle is really almost 90 degrees. So first of all, in order to find that angle, I black the blade. And I'll black both of them. I'm reminded of another comment that a passing troll said, "Mate, what makes you think people want to sit around watching you put marker onto a piece of metal?" The answer, of course, is only the best people. Only the best. So we pop that in. Clamp it nice and tight. Too steep. You want this to be as close to the wheel as possible. See how it sounds different? We found the blade. Look at that. A little bit more. See, that one was a little bit too far. See them? Oh, so that's the second one that I just did there, although it's not too bad really. Not too bad. But I'll lift it up just a little bit more. Perfect. Now first we'll try it without oil, see if that makes a difference. Might not squeal at all. No squeals. Nice. But I haven't quite got a burr yet. So I'm going to do a little bit more. Also I can see some damage along the blade here. You know what? I don't think we want a super smooth edge. I'm going to roughen it up a bit with some 80. Because you want it to grip that chicken skin. So a little bit of roughness or a bit of tooth might be called for in the shears department. Definitely got a burr, but I've still got some damage on the back here. I'll show you what I mean. So that blade is great, but look at that damage, see it? You can see it better on the back. Right, so I want to grind that off. I'll keep going. I'm pushing down quite hard. Nearly gone. So I chase it all the way down to the bottom. think I got it. Definitely got a good burr. That's a great grind. And that dib has gone. Oh, a little tiny bit there, but I'm going to forgive it. We'll just leave it at that. It's much improved. And I don't want to chase it down too far in case it causes other shearing problems. All right, let's try this one. I wonder what that angle is. It is 43. Now, here's another thing that's interesting. That's 43, but there's a wedge shape here, so I wonder what this angle is. 43. $57. So it adds 43, 53. It adds about 14 degrees. I think I've heard somewhere that whatever the angle you want on the scissor, you can add 10 and just set up the rest. So add 10, set up the rest, and because of this angle here, there's a wedge going on here, it adds or takes off 10 degrees-ish. So in this case, it's taking off 13. So that's interesting. Just beautiful. No burr yet. Doesn't sound very crunchy. That's better. Now I have a burr. I have a burr. Burr's the word. I promised I wouldn't do that again, and there it was. Done. So, look at that. How magnificent is that bevel? Oh. I think we're done. Now, I've got to reassemble them. I'm going to bring you over. The scissor comes with these two caps. And at first glance you think, well, how am I going to, they don't come apart, and the angle is as it's too acute You need more than a 90 degree in order for it to clear the wheel. Now, I thought, I don't know whether or not these caps come off. So I've got a knife under there, and sure enough they do come off, and they reveal a beautiful little brass nut and a little screw, stainless screw. So we're going to pop that in there like that, and then we're going to get that in there. That's a bit stiff. And there's no point putting any oil on there because these will get washed. Probably put into the dishwasher. And the scissor should fall and stop in the 1/3 to 1/2. So that's a little bit high. It's called the fall. That's better. And these will get rid of their own burr. You can push the edges together. Let's try on some material. Oh, look at that. Something a bit heavier. Nice. What about something super heavy, like quilting material? Oh, like a sharp knife through a thing. Mate. And does it do tassel work? Of course it does. Magnificent. And then these have got little tabs. Well, you can see that there's a little tab in here as well. Where is it? You can't see with the light, but it is right there in the bottom. See that little hole there? So I'm going to put this one on this side, and then I'm going to put this one What else have I got here? Oh, how about a bit of piece of leather? Oh, bloody-nificent. How good is that? All right, we're done. We are done. I'll bring you out the front. There's Chili. Say hello, Chili. Chili. No. And we're done. Thank you very much for watching. That was a beautiful, beautiful set of WÜSTHOFs. 10 pieces all in all. And I think we've done them justice. I think so. I'm very happy and very proud of that job. So what else? Oh, don't forget, isharpen.shop. isharpen.shop. Go there and have a look. It's just a simple Shopify store. But if you want to support, grab a hat, grab a t-shirt, maybe a hoodie, and you can pre-order your Baz knife. And if you're Australian, you can even order your kangaroo tails from there. I'm glad that you like these longer videos because I'm going to do more of them. I want to bring you into my workshop and watch me work. And apparently the trend lately, if you look at the YouTube trends, watching people work is a huge trend. Really trending high. People just want to relax and watch somebody work, talk, be a buffhead, whatever. Look at the dog. And even just by watching, you're supporting me. You don't have to buy anything, so please don't feel obligated or anything. But if you want to, head over to isharpen.shop, and I'll see you in the next video.